Welcome to my video, and thank you for tuning in. As you may know, if you watched my other videos, I went to Maui in January, and so I thought what I would do is create a sort of reel for you guys that would show what Maui looks like and some of the experiences you can have there so you can get a taste before you decide to go. I had all these little snippets of videos that weren't necessarily blogs or vlogs, but that, showed what the place looked like. So without further ado, thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoy. We're driving to the boats. That was cool.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, good
that was
video.
good. That was good angle.
That is good. What up?
We got our car. We're at the airport.
All right, where's our thing?
That thing.
Probably need my ID, and I'm not being.
Oh, here, maybe.
Nothing.
Proof of purchase. Proof of rental.
Yes. Okay. Go to the section. Check over car. Oh yeah, we should have checked it. Did we check anything?
Oh, we didn't check anything, but it looks really good. Here, I'll pop out and check.
You said we didn't check anything, but it looks really good. This video comes from our time in Haleakala National Park. A lot of twists and turns on this drive, but we were headed to the PPY Trail, or the Bamboo Forest. It was a beautiful scenic drive with lots of twists and turns. I would definitely recommend checking it out. Here's the entryway to the PPY Forest, the Bamboo Forest Trail. It's so quiet up here. So quiet. I'm so sweaty. I mean, if you're looking for somewhere to go with all the things going on in the world today, this is the place. I mean, all you could hear was the wind through the bamboo or the water flowing beneath. Just very beautiful. Definitely my favorite stop in Maui. It's at the edge of the island, but I totally recommend it. We had to walk like 2 miles up the trail. And then it was just like mostly a grassy trail. And then we hit the bamboo forest. We couldn't stay long because we had to leave to go to Iao Valley, which I'll talk about a little later. But it was definitely, like I said, my favorite stop. And I recommend it for sure. Whales sink when they
open
die.
ocean when a whale dies. Once it sinks, it's
We've
a whale
seen like
fall.
3
It sinks
whales.
to the bottom of the seafloor. So
One with a baby.
In most cases, the deep sea.
And learned that they
It's
travel like 3,000
completely
miles from
devoured
Alaska
by
all the
these
way
deep
to
sea
Maui.
organisms. Things like giant isopods, or even
And they only spend like a
deep
year with
water
their
sharks.
calf
So you have like 6-gill
before
sharks or Cuban dogfish that will go after
they
them.
separate.
But it's really important because, as you can imagine, in the deep sea, it's very hard to
And
find
the
things
major
to eat.
predator of
Very hard to
whales,
hunt. It's a
of these humpback whales, is killer
completely
whales called
different
orcas.
ecosystem. In fact, we know more
Not
about the
sharks.
moon than we even know about our deep sea. So those whale falls are actually extremely important for that deep sea environment. Great question.
Yep, you heard it, whale watching. We went on a whale watching cruise. It was about like 9:30 in the morning. It felt so good out there. The water was beautiful. And then, of course, the whales. It's just crazy that, like, such creatures even exist. And you heard what she said. We know more about the moon than we know about the sea, or the depths of the sea. So I could just imagine if I didn't know what a whale was, being on a boat and then seeing a whale because they're such massive creatures, how scary that would be. But I definitely recommend whale watching. Just make sure you're on a trip that respects them and doesn't do any harm.
What most impressed me was that their little tails went in like really slow motion, and they're very graceful. And also, I'm surprised I'm not seasick, nor is Bree.
Okay, I'm gonna take it. What? This is a video.
Be a little.
Where? Oh, I forgot to turn it around. Can I do this?
Kayla's tasting disgusting, but it's good for me.
Where we at?
It's just grass.
No,
I'm
where
just
are we?
eating giant grass. We're in Hawaii. Hawaii?
Why?
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 We're in Hawaii and we're on a trail called Hawaii.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
W-A-I-H-E-E.
W-A-I-H-E, I think. Waihi.
Waihi.
I think so.
A? E is A. Waihe?
Waihe.
Waihe. Okay.
That's true. E is A.
True blay. We learned
the
about the
trail blaze,
Waihe
baby.
Trail. It's
That's
actually called the
where she
Waihe Ridge Trail through a girl who was staying at her Airbnb. I think it was like 6 or 8 miles. It was cool because like you're going up a mountain, so as you go up, the plants change and the trees change, so that was cool. And then we got to see a little mongoose at the top. And then we got to see the island from such a high vantage point. So I definitely that was one of the highlights. And then of course, who goes to Maui without going to a luau? I went mostly because I wanted to learn the mythology of the island, but it was so cool. So I went and I was like 30 minutes late, but when I got there, somebody was still outside waiting for me with my lei, so that was dope. And there was a full buffet. This road out. Oh, okay. Sorry, it's all blurry because I can't stop wobbling. We took this road to our new friend Kai's house. We had went to this place called Coconut Glens for ice cream along the road to Hana, and we met him there. And he was like, "Yeah, you can come to my property. I'll show you my garden. I'll show you what I do," because I guess he does a lot of coconut candy and that sort of thing. So we were like, all right. So we went, but it turns out it was down this like dirt road, which we were kind of worried about. And then of course we didn't really know this person, so there was that kind of added uncertainty. We did eventually get there, and it was dope, but definitely the road there was scary. I would say it made us think about like 4-wheel drive, but to be honest, for everywhere we wanted to go and did go, we did not need 4-wheel drive, except for one place. So I'd say if you decide to go, 4-wheel drive isn't necessary depending on what you're deciding to do, but consider it if you want to kind of go off the beaten path a little bit.
It's dry, it's crispy, it's more crispy.
So when we see those like
It's dried up and fell off the tree, yeah. And then these are the ones that Will prefers because they make better candy. They dehydrate better.
This was our friend kind of giving us the rundown on coconut candy, how he makes it, how it's been made throughout the island, and kind of showing us how he uses his machete. But yeah, this was a dope moment because I didn't know that coconuts came in those husks like that, so got to learn a little bit more about the coconut.
Here real quick, just take the backside. A butter knife usually works best. Then just take it and...
You and this machete, man. This is insane.
Yeah, so you just gotta get a piece for it to go, and then once it fractures out like that, then you can kind of run it in here. And
wow, so impressive.
this is not how I do the coconut candy, but with a dull knife, a butter knife works best.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is what I paid. I got paid $1 a net when I was a kid to do these.
That's the coconut candy.
Mm-hmm. Yep. No, that's the coconut, and then you bake it with sugar.
in Colombia we eat it like that. You bake it with sugar and it's like oily. It's this oily.
This one you let it dehydrate and it's like chips. It's like coconut chips.
Wow.
Sweet coconut chips, and you can flavor it. Make any flavor you want. I prefer the soft.
Okay, video. You want to watch the waves with me? Dang, is that just, why am I looking like that? Why am I still looking like that? Is this the camera? Anyway, look at this. Waves are going to be crashing in. Okay, we hiked this hike all the way from over there. That's no. I might have to just turn the camera around, but now we're just sitting up here, waves crashing in. Whoa. I gotta turn my camera around. Okay, hold up. So in addition to inviting us down and letting us see what he does with coconuts and how he makes the candy, he also took us to, on this hike to the Blue Pools, which I guess is like this place where ancient royalty used to bathe. And it's along the road to Hana, and it used to be open to the public, but the residents there were like, no, we don't want the people going there. We don't want them having to go through our drives. But then, of course, because he lived there, we got to see it. One thing we didn't get to see, so we're out here looking at waves, was while we were there, the 100-foot wave was happening, but we couldn't go see it because we didn't have 4-wheel drive. So that was the only thing that we missed out on because we didn't have 4-wheel drive. Otherwise, it was pretty easy breezy. The hike we did with him was over those rocks. We had to cross water in our hiking boots because the tide was coming in so strong. And then once we got close to the little pool, we hiked over the rocks into the pool. He showed us this clay that you can like put on yourself. It's kind of like a sun absorbent or something. We swam to the waterfall, and then we just came out to watch the waves.
I did that. But anyway, this is the clay that he had us put on us. We got it from somewhere up there, and we put that on before we jumped in. And then these are some sort of, but he said like these were natural paint brushes. So I used it to make a little fine art so that they can remember I was here. And yeah, here's another one. I'm gonna leave it for the next person. But yeah, stop. Check it out. Hawaii, Maui, Hana.
This was our start along the road to Hana. It's like a day trip. I know when I was doing my research for Maui, this is the thing that I saw the most, where people were like, you have to do this. And basically it's this road from the western side of the island to the eastern side of the island, which is Hana, with all these stops along the way, like waterfalls, beaches, gardens, shops. And then, I mean, everybody can pretty much make it their own because there are so many stops. You kind of have to pick and choose. I definitely recommend it because there's really something for everybody along it. We met cool people. We went to Coconut Glens and had ice cream, and that's how we met Kai. Yeah, it was dope. I definitely, totally recommend it. Our friend before we went told us that the roads are so narrow that when we're going around bends we should honk the horn, but because when we went that there weren't that many people on the road, we really didn't have to do that, but you might when you go. Also, one of my favorite stops is this Wainaka State Park, aka Black Sand Beach.
I've never seen black
So
sand.
beautiful. The sand is black as ever. As you can see, I'm like scooting my feet through it. Definitely worth stopping. This was Naiku Landing. This was one of the stops that I didn't read about as much in my research, but we kind of saw it and we're like, hey, let's check it out. When we got to the top of the trail, there was this dog waiting, and it was just real friendly and kind of just like followed us along the trail. We learned that its name was Ohi. And from there, became friends.
Oceanic dog, you are so cute. Thank you. Run, 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 run.
We left Maui from the Hana side, so we drove east to west. It rained all day, so bad that when we got near the airport, the streets were like flooded. But we're definitely gonna miss this place, and we're so grateful we got to go. So
Look, it's like
yeah,
really
I hope you
going
enjoyed
purple.
this place.
Ooh, you changed.
Somebody's behind you.
We're leaving Maui now. We're on the plane and it's sad, but we're had a great time. Bye, Maui. Maui's raining. It's crying because we're leaving. It's okay.
Definitely, we'll be back. We'll definitely be back.